Hey everybody. I was just on Facebook and saw that my sister was commenting about um, Special K cereal, and it brought up a discussion, a memory from childhood. I wanted to share it with everybody. It was one of the stories, pretty funny. I had to be there to really appreciate it. My sister doesn't really remember it, but I do. My mother used to go to a health spa and she used to work out and all that kind of stuff in the evenings during the week. I guess it was one of her ways to get away from us kids. And that I look back, I don't really blame her. I would have done the same thing. Um, but um, anyway, she used to keep these great big boxes of Special Case cereal. Um, we had a telephone that was on the wall, had a cord on it. You had to turn the thing, let it, at each number there was a hole on a dial, and it went. You'd turn it again, it would go. Maybe you get the picture. It was an old freaking phone back from like the 80s, like I think 1987. But we also had, there was a kitchen window right there, and it was like right where the kitchen table was sitting. And my mother would always have these great big boxes of Special K cereal sitting right there, like on the floor area, next to the telephone. And that was her cereal. She ate it. We ate some too, but not a lot. We had stuff like Ghostbuster cereal, Lucky Charms, stuff like that. But I remember my mom used to keep that cereal out there. She was on the Special K diet. I don't even think it was called the Special K diet yet. I don't think that term was even coined yet when it came to Special K. So anyway, I'm in my bedroom, and keep in mind I'm like maybe 7 or 8 years old. Um, I'm not sure where my sister was when this whole thing started, but I know that she was on the scene before I was. I'm in my room. I don't even remember what I was doing, but I know I was in my room. And all I hear out in the kitchen is this, ah, ah, oh, oh, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, what in the world? One of my mom's biggest coin phrases um, that she used to scream when she was in a panic or there was a crisis going on was, "What in the world?" Really high pitched. She got this really high pitched voice. "What in the world?" And you knew something wasn't right when she was doing that. So I hear all this screaming and and thumping around, and I hear my sister running, and I guess from wherever she was at, she was running to where my mom was at to see what was going on. Um, So I came running out, and my mom has this bowl of Special K that she had just poured, and for some reason she had milk in it, and I don't understand how she could have had milk in it, how it even got that far, but there's these ants swimming in the milk, and no kidding, they're like in there swimming, like swimming. And they're crawling on the flakes like little boats. There's like ants on these boats, these boats that are made out of Special K flakes. And there's cereal everywhere. So apparently my mom had put the box like right next to her on the table, and there were ants coming out of it. And she had knocked the box off, and there was cereal spread across the floor with ants, like like trying to salvage their meal. And and my mom is like whacking on the table trying to smash these ants, and her bowl is just one. There's like a spoon in there, so you get that sound with you get that sound with the spoon, in there whapping around. You can see milk going everywhere, ants are going everywhere. She's smacking ants on the table. She's jumping up and down and stomping on the ants that are all crawling on the floor. Um, she's stepping on the box of cereal, and my sister and I are watching this happen. We're standing there like 5 feet away, and we can't stop laughing. Not because there's ants in the cereal, not because my mom is screaming, but because as she's stomping up and down, she's also stepping on the flakes that are on the floor. And as she's doing it, all you hear is crunch, 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 crunch. And for some reason, we thought that was hilarious. The crunching. And we're sitting there laughing, and we're telling her, crunching the flakes. And my mom's like, it's not funny. We've been eating ants. Ants are in the cereal. We've been eating that for over a week. And she's flipping out. And you know we weren't eating ants because you would have seen them, when you were eating it. But apparently the ants had gotten in there during the day or something. The kitchen window was open, and they must have come in because at one point before my dad did work on the windows, a lot of the screens had little tears and stuff. So the ants, they can get into the screens anyway if they really want it. So they're coming in the screen, and they must have come down the wall, and maybe they smelt the cereal. I don't know what ants they smell or how they sense food. I guess they smell. But anyway, the ants had gotten in the kitchen window apparently and gotten into her Special K, and it caused one of those things where you wish you had a camera, but this was about 1987, 1988. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and um, video cameras were, no, I'm not kidding, might have been about this freaking long, about that tall, and you had to use both hands to hold the dang things. That actually set on your shoulder. These video cameras set on your shoulder, and when you opened it up, what it recorded on was a full-size VHS tape, and for you less than 18-year-olds, teeny boopers out there, it's about this size, and it has two reels on it with tape in the inside. And there's no menu. It's not like a DVD. There's no menu. You don't, you gotta. If you were halfway through the movie and you wanted to start at the beginning, you had to stop it and rewind it. It would sort of go for like a half hour, like almost the full length of the film. That's how long it would take this to rewind from the halfway point back to the beginning. And then you'd press play, but typically it would go. And the whole time, when there wasn't any sound, you'd have this slight hum. But anyway, I'm just trying to point out that the technology back then, it wasn't great. So it's not like today where you could just grab your phone, your freaking iPhone 6021 2012, and point it at it, and you didn't have like these tiny little camcorders that fit in the palm of your hand, that it records onto a digital disc about this big. Um, but so it's not something that you can just grab a camera, hey, let's film this, and then hey, and like however many years from now we're gonna put this on YouTube, when we didn't even know what YouTube was, but it would have been something great for YouTube. That's my point. But just thought some people might get a kick out of that, and probably the only people who are gonna get a kick out of this are family members, anybody who really knew us, my mom. My mom's, she's probably not gonna like this too much, but yeah, my mom used to, anything to do with ants or spiders or bugs, my mom used to freak out, and the more my mom freaked out, the more my sister and I would laugh. I don't know why we laughed about it, but we thought it was funny. But yeah, that's the story about the ants in the Special K. So hope somebody at least gets a good chuckle out of it. It's funny, and it's fun to think about old stuff that used to happen, back in the day. So I'm a parent now, so I'm sure that my kids, when they see me freaking out, or they see my wife freaking out, I'm sure they think it's hilarious too, for the same reasons we did, just because we're freaking out. It's funny. But all right, maybe I'll talk to you later. Don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm up to 16 subscribers. There's going to be a lot more videos that I'm going to post. Some are going to be open carry walks. My recording device is kaput. It was a phone that had a an HD camcorder option on it, and it was sitting on the table here, and our kitten, our newest kitten member of the family, was up sniffing at it the one day, and there was food, I think it was a drink that was right here, and he was trying to stick his head down in the drink, and I went to go like this to brush him away, and I brushed the phone down, and we had one of those really tall tables with really tall chairs. So the phone sort of went across the floor, and when it fell, it hit something face down and spider veined the whole thing. It's destroyed. Um, so that was my recording device. Um, but once I get that replaced, once I get that taken care of, I'm gonna have some more views. We're gonna have some more episodes of Cheyenne Says. Um, maybe today we'll put another one up. But thanks for watching.